All right, welcome back, and we're gonna go into that issue that we're talking about. But first, before we do that, let's quickly end the Olympic segment by taking a look at the medal table. Austin, that'll be a parting shot for the segment as we go into all the other issues. And I'm very sure it's going to come up on the screen right now, and that's it. Let's just stick with the top three. It's not news. We know where Nigeria is, but we have China, the U.S., and Japan, and that's it right there. In terms of most medals won, you would say the United States, but if we look at it based on the gold medals, it definitely has to be China, and China leads. So we'll see with just about a day or two left. We'll see if there's going to be any change or China will remain the overall winner of the Olympics. So we need to take a pause, of course, gather our thoughts, then we go into the other issues. So let's just, we're done with the Olympic segment. We'll come back for more on the show. All right, welcome back. A lot of people have been reacting to the cancellation of the deal, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, as with Puma, and there have been so many issues, so many players, so many actors in the drama, and of course, what we're trying to do is to use the calm after the storm to understand what really transpired and how everything went. And of course, we hope that we'll be able to have a conversation with the key players in the issue and do our best to understand and also help the viewers to get some more information and shed light. And after doing that, of course, chart the way forward. All right, let's have a conversation on the show tonight with the former technical advisor of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Sunday Adele, joins us on the show. Greetings to you, sir. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Nice having me on your program.
All right. I'm going to go straight into it. You had a front seat when all of these things happened. You, of course, were there. You were in charge of quite a few things, and you know everything about this deal. So I want to ask you, how did we get here? That's the first question I want to ask you. And why do you think all of this turned out this way? A deal that was celebrated a few years back, now we're in this kind of situation. What are some of the reasons, in your opinion, that got us to this point?
Well, selfish interest.
Okay.
First of all, thank God you said it on your program. You just said it now, that deal that was celebrated. You will recall that that deal was signed even before the sad honorable minister came in. That is Sunday Akindare came on board. And then that deal was signed during the Solomon Dalong's administration. So, but of course, when you have people who have agendas and peddle agendas around and then feel that they have problems with certain people, and because of that, the interest of the country or the nation is not what matters to them. It's all about personal egos and stuff. So that's where we are. And then a point of correction, yes, I was the former technical director of Athletics Federation of Nigeria, and now the first vice president of the AFN.
Okay, thank you for putting that out. Now, you've said one or two things about some of the other persons involved in this. All right, for a balance, some of those other guys that you're referring to, I've also said that this deal is shrouded in secrecy. There are things you and the former AFN president are not telling Nigerians. So when you hear that, how do you respond?
Well, that is so sad to say or to hear that it's shrouded in secrecy. You know, when this deal came up, it's of course a non-disclosure deal. And you've been reporting sports for a very long time now. And I don't know if you've seen the deal of the Nigerian Football Federation, and if you've seen any deal of another federation. Of course, even you're not talking about Nigeria, you follow football, you discuss football a lot. You hear clubs like Barcelona, Man U, everybody signing deals with kit companies. Have you ever seen one put out to the public? Of course, when you sign a non-disclosure clause, you have to be very careful from putting out the content of the agreement. Of course, it's not like there's anything secret there. It's just that the manufacturers, of course, are trying to protect their own right, and then making sure that everything is okay from their own angle. Because, of course, there's this rivalry. Nike has its own pattern, has their own pattern. Puma has their own pattern, and Adidas, of course. So everybody takes care of that part. No deal that is ever signed that comes out as a non-disclosure clause, with the non-disclosure clause. And then again, I want to come out on this one. When you say it's like shredded.
Okay, it does appear that we lost him there. We'll try to reconnect and get him back. All right, for the sake of balance, let's also bring in former Vice President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Olamide George. He joins us. Olamide George. He joins us now. And greetings to you, sir. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight. Let me just quickly ask you your. How do you explain all that has transpired and its effect on Nigerian athletics? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll try to continue with this conversation. Okay. Let's see if we can get Mr. Adeleye back, and so that he can finish with his train of thoughts. You were trying to explain what you understand as to the details of that deal, why some of the details were not made public. And of course, another question that would be the follow-up to what I asked you while you were trying to explain is that some stakeholders, some probably sports ministry that supervises your ministry, will argue that since we have a supervisory role, when we ask questions, we should get answers. And we are here because, in their own words, we are here because we didn't get those answers.
Well, that's not true. Of course, the former minister, who was there when we signed this agreement, is in the know of this Puma deal. And then, of course, the secretary, who is also the representative of the ministry, is also appended his signature on the deal. So, and then, of course, the whole thing that happened here was like someone coming out here to blow foul and then trying to cause chaos somewhere. Because, of course, if a deal, we've written to the minister severally for a meeting, he turned us down. So how do you do that? How do you show a man that, or how do you discuss the issue with a man that, of course, does not want to see you and has not opened his doors for you to meet with him? We had several attempts to go to his office to talk with him, to meet with him, and all effort proved abortive. So what do we do?
Okay, Sunday Adeleye, let's just go back to the details of this Puma deal. It was signed in 2019, and Puma have confirmed that they paid $2.7 million US. Sunday Adeleye, whose account received that money?
Well, I am very sure that, I don't know where you got that story from, that Puma paid $2.7 million. Of course, this contract was a contract that is in kind. What we are getting is in value of, even the NFF, can the NFF boast of Nike giving them $2.7 million? What is the value?
Did Puma pay any money to the Athletics Federation of Nigeria? What is the value?
I have answered you time without number, Austin, that the Nigeria Athletics Federation of Nigeria has the account. Of course, the account is domiciled with the ministry. So if there's anything that was paid, we should ask the ministry to bring the account of the federation.
Okay, fine. I like that answer. Let's stop right there. Let's bring in Olamide George. Olamide George, and at the time all of this Puma deal happened, and he's my former vice president. Olamide George, good to have you on the show. We want to understand the details of this Puma deal controversy. Sunday Adeleye has explained to us now that it wasn't full money paid, and it's sometimes in kind and in products. What do you know about the Puma deal? You were the vice president at the time.
Thank you very much, Austin. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, good. I listened to Mr. Sunday Adeleye. Of course, he was the technical director when I was democratically elected as the vice president. And of course, you will recall at a point, I was away from the federation for like 6, 7, 8 months due to a certain imbroglio within the federation. And a high-power panel was set up by the former minister to investigate what transpired. At a point when I was away from the federation, there was a deal from Puma. Upon my coming back after the reinstatement by the ministry and the federation, I asked questions about what transpired. And that led to a reply I got from Puma. The letter in circulation in social media was the reply Puma sent to me, and I made it available to the public that Puma has responded about the deal. And the truth of the matter is this. The secretary of the federation, who is the accounting officer, in quotes, an accounting officer have signed. What else do I need to dig more information about? All correspondence, as far as the content of AFN is concerned, all correspondence belong to the office of the Secretary General. In as much as I signed the deal, the president signed. For me, I think at this point in time, what we should be thinking about is why must we leave Puma D and go for Alpha in the Olympic when Puma have sent kits to the athletes? And the ministry they are not allowing the athlete to make use of the kits. Look at the guy that is representing only in the short put event, having access to one vest, and he was washing it to prepare for the final when we have Puma kit in excess. For me, the ministry should have looked deeply. Of course, I was one of those who said, let us know what transpired. But when I got to the nitty-gritty of it, that the Secretary General of the Federation, who is the accounting officer, signed on behalf of the Federation, then case closed.
So let me go back to where Sunday Adeleye was taking us to. Sunday Adeleye, we're just about transparency, accountability. Are you saying Puma didn't pay any money to the Athletics Federation of Nigeria?
There was nothing, like we've always said, and I've said it time without number. And then, of course, that
do we have a functional accounts?
Well, we have an account that is being handled by the secretary of the federation, which nothing ever passed through, of course. And then we've kept asking questions. And I will tell you today, it has affected us, even for the, what's it called? The support we're supposed to get from the World Athletics. We refuse to allow those monies come because we don't have control over the account. We don't even know. The former vice president, Mr. Olamide George, that is here today, if you ask him, has he ever seen the account number of the AFN? Does he know if we have, and if anything has ever passed through that account? I am very sure he will tell you no.
Sunday, I just want to know how much Puma, if there's any money involved. That is the only way we will move on. I want to know
Austin, I am telling you today on your program that what we have is a deal worth $2.7 million worth of item in kind.
Good.
How can Puma pay us $2.7 million cash? What is the value of Athletics Federation of Nigeria?
That now has been cleared. Fantastic. Thank you. Let's move on now. So it was in product. Did your federation at that time, when Sunday Dare came on as minister, did the federation do proper briefing to the ministry? Is the ministry aware of everything that was going on, particularly with this Puma deal?
I want to tell you today that there has nothing has happened in that ministry to federations that are proper. We assumed office.
Did the ministry even carry us along about the AFAD?
Even in fact, as the former president that left the office, did he hand over to Gusau? There is nothing. He signed the deal with Nike and all those things. Have we ever seen any deal? Do we know anything about that? So if we are not handed over, if no document was handed over to us, what do we do? And then, of course, the alpha product that we're talking about today, have we seen them? Was there any deal? So it should be put out to public. At least this one is a local content thing. We should know how it was signed and how much the value was.
But we'll wait. The alpha deal is another situation. What is out there now is the Puma deal, and we want to trash that issue. So we're coming to alpha deal, but let's just get this going.
But
so
did you see the press statement released by Mr. Simon Ebojaye today that stated that they are only responsible for provision of kits, general kits to the athlete, and the ones that the athletes are supposed to use to compete is supposed to be provided to them by the federation. Are you aware of that? Did you see that released today?
So what I just want to get out of the way before I go to
Austin, can you answer me, please? Did you see that?
I'm the presenter of the show. I ask you questions, Sunday Adile. Thank you. So what I just want to get out of the way is you have confirmed the ministry in a letter have said they did not know anything about the Puma deal and they were not briefed. Is that true?
Well, that is not true. That is not true. The ministry was briefed. Before that deal was even signed, there was a letter. The former minister was supposed to even accompany us to Germany to sign to witness the signing of the agreement because they are not a party to the agreement. You get it? It's a federation thing. The ministry can only be a witness to see you get whatever we're doing. But of course, the minister then left office, and then the permanent secretary was actually supposed to go again. They are correspondents. We don't talk. We put documents. We put papers. We write. So it is not true that the ministry is never aware. There are documents there, and they should check the archives before we put them out again.
Let me pause you. Let me go to Olamide George. Olamide George, you were former vice president. You were vice president with this board when all of this brouhaha started. What was the major cause? Because I know the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. I covered the elections. This crisis dates as far as 2017. But when you were working with Ibrahim Gusso, what caused all of the fighting in the AFN?
In a battle between the good and the evil, you don't stand neutral. So neutrality is morally indefensible. The basic thing about leadership is sacrifice. Leadership involves you doing the right thing at the right time. Sorry, I'm trying to...
You can go on, we can hear you. Okay, Yemi, I think... I think Olamide George muted. So let's go back to Lagos. Yemi, you can take it over from here.
All right. It's obvious that in all of these issues, the athletes are the ones suffering, and both sides can continue to claim to be in the right, which is what will happen. We can go at this, but I'm interested to know how. Let me start with. Okay, let me allow Mr. Olamide George finish what it was saying.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Like I said, we ask questions. We're not comfortable with the question because the former secretary of the federation said he never signed. And that was why we keep pressurizing them, make it open to us. But eventually, when we keep digging, we realize that the secretary signed the document. What else can we do if the accounting officer of the federation have signed a document on behalf of the federation with the president? For me, I can't fight anymore because it is crystal clear that the board is being carried along. If the secretary could sign, all correspondent belong to the office of the secretary general. He signed the document, the president signed, and to crown it all, the chairman of the marketing committee signed. He gave a letter to the consulting company. What else do we need to do? But my bone of contention at this point in time is this. We have Puma deals on ground. DHL, or rather sent down to the embassy in Korea for our athletes to make use of. The athletes were denied such. And now we're talking about Alpha D. I want to appeal to federal government. I want to appeal to Nigerians in high places to look at what transpired from Nike to Puma and to AFAD. Then
that's
we
a
have
good place to live it.
Of course. Let's start from the Nike.
That's a good place to live it. That's a good place to live. I'll come back to you. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, Olamide George will continue with his point. Stay with us.
All right, an interesting conversation going on, and at some point I'm lost for words. A lot of revelations coming out of all of this, and like I said, the athletes are the ones suffering, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to find a way forward in all of this. Let me go to Sunday. I also was trying to go to Sunday. Let me go to Sunday and just ask you, that's what I'm interested in. Where do we go from here? We've gotten to a point, it's a mess already. But how do we get ourselves out of all of this?
Well, first of all, you must look at the angle of the major errors coming from the ministry. You know, it's not about the AFN. When you talk about AFN, some people who have their mind set up, like even one of your colleagues, Austin, like I just told him off program, that you have to be straight on when you're talking about things. Don't take side. The Ministry of Youth and Sports needs a total overhauling. There's a cankerworm there. There are lacunas that are causing these problems. The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport should allow federations work. The ministry has hijacked the NOC. The ministry has hijacked the Nigerian Anti-Doping Commission, which have caused the problem. The ministry is hijacking everything. Wants to hijack. Is it only in athletics that there is problem? Is there no problem in basketball? Is there no problem in judo? Problems everywhere. So it's not only athletics. And why? Why in just one government? Who will come and dissolve a federation or dissolve boards of federation a month before the Olympics? Who does that?
Okay.
So the ministry should be looked at. We are begging the federal government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to do a total overhaul of the sport ministry, because there are a lot of abnormalities happening there.
Okay, all right. Before we end this conversation as well, let me also listen to Olamide George and get his own take before we end this conversation, and get his own take as to where we can go from here.
I think the truth of the matter is this. For me, Adeleye was a former athlete. I was also a former athlete. This is our sport. We believe so much in track and field, and likewise every other sport in Nigeria. This is a show of shame, what transpired in the Olympics. I just want to appeal for peace to reign. We must get to the nitty-gritty of the crisis. Was there a proper handing over from Nike to Puma, from Puma to AFA? Look at the release being put in place by the ministry today. I was not in the know of any money given to the federation prior to my departure or expiration of tenure. I was not in the know at all. So I don't know how AFA came on board. It's unknown to us. Before I left office, I don't know about AFA. There's no document about AFA in AFN. Of course, if it's the Ministry of Affairs, they should not make such statement making reference to our past administration that we're in the know. I've not seen that document. That document must be subject to scrutiny. But above all, the federal government, if the Vice President has unveiled the AFA kit, I appeal to the Vice President of Nigeria, a man of integrity, to look deeply into this matter so that I can hear from both sides and let us know this matter and prepare for the future of Nigerian upcoming athletes.
Let me go to Sunday Adeleye, because I like the fact that Olamide George just mentioned peace, which I know if we had peace in the federation, we won't be here. Sunday Adeleye, what's the consequence of Puma terminating this deal? What's the bad side for Nigeria?
Well, of course, it's just like you having renting an apartment somewhere, and then you have breached your agreement, and then your landlord, of course, will want to take his own pound of flesh. But we're trying in our own little ways to see how we can calm Puma down, to see how we can calm the situation down. But of course, it will not help anybody when the ministry is still coming out to say yes, or pushing somebody saying that Nigeria does not have a deal with Puma. We don't have a deal with Puma, but we used Puma in Doha. So why would you come out and say there's no Nigeria does not have a deal, does not have anything to do with Puma? So deliberately are annoying them and provoking them to go after the country. So we must be patriotic.
I think let me also add this. Austin, am I permitted to speak?
No, you can go on.
Yes, I think if we must even continue with any other kit with any company, who is to sign such kits? Is it the board of Guso or the board of the ministry? Because I'm not calling it the board of Okowa. This is not the board of Okowa. It is the board of the ministry or the board of Guso. Who will sign another day? The government needs to step in.
So we will continue this conversation, as I've said, and we just want to unravel everything that is going on. So what I've gotten out of this is that
I read the fundamental issue, Austin. You are not talking about this fundamental issue.
We will talk about it, but we just want to know where to bring in the ministry, because you know that there was a former minister before this one came in.
The ministry
let me just land. So Sunday Adeleye, what I'm trying to say is, did the AFN at the time of signing the deal, did they take the complete details to the ministry at that time? I just want to clear it out there.
The board first. Excuse me, sir. Point of correction.
You know, when you talk about ministry, I think you're not getting it, Austin. You followed sport, except you were pretending that you don't know. But you followed. When NFF signed the Nike deal, did they take it to the ministry? It's a board. The board has been endowed, has been given the powers, even by the Constitution of Nigeria.
Okay. Okay, guys, I need to butt in here. We wish we had time. We could go on and on doing this, but at this point, we need to stop. We need to go on a break right about now. Guys, we actually need to close. Of course, we spent a lot of time, but I want to thank you guys for your time. We've not exhausted the issues. I want to thank you for your time today. Hopefully, we get another chance to do this again and take you, know what is going on. So that's the show for today. From here in Lagos, we're saying our bye-byes. You're going to see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
I know it was very tough out there with the conversation, but we'll keep this conversation going. Thanks for doing this with us. We'll be back again. For the team, I'm Austin Okonakman. Bye for now.